Hello everyone. In this part of the Interest Rates Explained series, to get a better understanding of how interest rates work in the economy, the evolving roles of interest rates, we have to first understand how growth happens and works in the economy. So in this presentation, we shall be discussing and exploring how economic growth happens and works in the economy. Here, in this particular presentation, we shall look at growth from the real economy side, and hence primarily from the perspective of supply. So, in more specific terms, from a neoclassical perspective. Later on, in the next presentation, we shall look at growth from the monetary side, thus bringing in the aspects of demand and hence completing the overall business cycle aspects. And eventually, we shall explore the evolving nature of interest rates, which this presentation is more interested in. So, what are the parameters on which the growth of the economy primarily depends? Number one, labor. So it's pretty obvious that that more the labor supply, more will be the growth in the economy. Number two, productivity. In fact, I would not be wrong in saying that this parameter of productivity is among one of the two most important aspects of growth in the economy. Now, productivity depends upon education. So as the labor force or the workforce gets more educated, its productivity increases. As it gains more skill, its productivity increases. If the workforce is more healthy, it can put in more work hours and hence the productivity increases. The technology helps in increasing the productivity. Quite simply, the use of machines, gadgets helps in increasing the production and hence the productivity in the economy. The infrastructure, for example, roads, building of expressways reduces the travel time and hence a worker is able to put in more work hours and it does increase the supply in the economy. So like in labor, an increase in productivity would also yield to a increase in growth. Also to understand one thing, that both these parameters are essentially low percentage parameters. By that I mean that they gradually increase at a very small incremental percentage. Let's take the example of labor. The growth rate in labor is pretty much directly proportional to the growth rate in population, which is a small percentage of 1.5%, 2%, something like that. Similarly, the parameters on which the productivity depends, largely that we saw in the last slide, most of them do take effect in a very, very gradual and a small incremental way. So, both these parameters are secular trending upward parameters with a low slope. Sure, intermittently they will show some variations, like for example, due to some natural disasters like floods, pandemic, the productivity can decline, or some eureka movements which can lead to some technological breakthrough, the productivity can increase sharply. But on an average, the parameter would be gradual and small. So the question arises, how come the growth rate in the last 4 or 5 decades has been so high, especially in some of the countries? For that, we shall look to the next presentation that to answer these questions. Apart from labor and productivity, we have another parameter on which growth of an economy depends, which is capital. You can call it capital, material, hard assets, under which comes land, raw material, machines, etc. Sure, some part of this point also coincides with the productivity aspect as well. And the fourth, which is again a very significant parameter, I would rate it as significant as the productivity parameter, is entrepreneurship. These four essentially are the main parameters on which the growth of the economy depends. And within these four parameters, we see the growth of an economy on the real side of things. Now let's take them one by one quickly by taking an example. So let's say man stays on an island. He cuts 10 logs of woods and catches 2 fishes in one day. Suddenly he's joined by another man, and they together now can cut 20 logs of wood and catch 4 fishes a day. So overall growth in the economy, which is just a small island, has increased because the labor force has increased. Now, the role of productivity. Let's say a traveler is passing by that island and he teaches those people a better technique to cut wood and catch fishes. Also, because of their own practice over a period of time, they improve upon their methodology of cutting of woods and catching of fishes. Due to this, the productivity improves, and hence now that same man is able to cut 12 logs of wood and catch 3 fishes a day. So, productivity improving the growth in the economy. The role of capital or land in the growth of the economy. Now, on the same island, a water source is discovered which has a higher density of fish. So very obviously, this leads to a higher catch of fish, which now increases from 3 to 4, let's say from 3 to 4 a day. So increased involvement of capital and land leads to an increase in economic growth in the economy. And finally, one of the most important factors influencing economic growth, entrepreneurship. To explain that, we also introduce the concepts of savings and credit. Now, let's take one scenario in which a person A, who cuts 10 logs of wood and catches 3 fishes, consumes all of it. While in scenario 2, that person A actually starts saving 2 logs of wood. Eventually, he accumulates sufficient logs of wood which can then be loaned to a person B, which is actually a credit to person extended to person B. Using those logs of wood, this person B is able to prepare a good fishing boat and a rod, which now enables person A to catch 4 fishes. Essentially, due to the entrepreneurship of person B, the overall productivity of the economy has increased. And so we can say that due to the process of saving and credit extended to the entrepreneur, the long-term growth of the economy has increased. So, savings essentially makes resources available that can be given as credit to the entrepreneur to produce long-term and higher economic growth. Let's briefly introduce the monetary side of things. Of course, the details we shall be talking in the next presentation. Now, this whole process of savings, credit creation and loaning it to the entrepreneur in the real economy happens using the tool of money, which is created in the modern economic setup mostly using the process of credit creation. In today's era of credit-based fiat monetary setup, it's mostly the banks that create this credit. They do it by creating money out of thin air and providing the loan to the entrepreneur. Remember, in today's credit-based fiat monetary setup, monetary savings are not essential for credit creation. Rather, it's credit created out of thin air that provides the monetary savings. For more details, do check the money presentation or the modern monetary theory presentation. Links are provided in the description. So, this is how economic growth happens and works as seen from the real side of the economic spectrum. In the next presentation, we shall view this whole thing from the monetary side of things. And then it would become more clearer the evolving nature and role of interest rates in the economy. Also, apart from interest rates, we will do answer the question of why economic growth in the last 4 or 5 decades, especially in few countries, has been so high compared to other nation states in the past periods before that. Also, we'll see a very interesting phenomenon how in certain scenarios increasing government deficits can prove to be a panacea to economic ills plaguing the economy of the nation, and at the same time in certain other scenarios how the same government deficit can prove to be a poison pill for the economy. So thank you very much for watching the presentation. Do subscribe if you like such content and comment in case of any queries. Thanks a lot.